Ladies and gentlemen, a man that oozes aura. He's looking to win the Royal Rumble, to main event WrestleMania for the first time in his career. Ladies and gentlemen, the Second City Saint, CM Punk. Okay! Wow! What an honor! What an honor! Oh, shit!
Hell yeah!
Yes.
Clap it up, Hawk.
Yep.
Clap it up, Hawk.
Come on, Hawk.
No, clap it up! Let's see.
I don't know.
Gucci.
Porter?
Yeah, it's got a little floor on it.
Bruce.
Cult of personality.
Oh, did you know I was coming with your little Stanley Cup?
Chicago hasn't had one of those in a long time.
I mean, we won 3 in 10 years, so you know we're paying the bill right now still.
Brother, you're talking to a Penguins fan.
Yeah.
We are in a terrible position of it all.
Good.
Hey, welcome to Indianapolis.
Thank you.
Happy Royal
Thank you for
Rumble
having me.
Eve.
Yeah.
Happy Royal Rumble Eve. Thank you for making time to stop by. How do you
problem.
feel? How's the body? You look like you're in the best shape of your life. I've said it a couple times whenever you come out on Monday Night Raw. Do you feel like you're in the best shape of your life? And how do you feel going into tomorrow?
I think I was in the best shape of my life when I was like 26.
Makes sense. Science.
When I set out to get this job, when I was like, I'm just gonna bust my ass so hard that they're not gonna be able to deny me. I was probably maybe in a little bit better shape back then. But
Yeah, but you look good. Feel good too?
yeah, I do.
What's planned for Royal Rumble tomorrow?
Beat everybody, win all the belts, make all the money.
Boom. That's what I'm talking about.
Everything. Everything across the board.
What did you learn from last year? Obviously got injured. That's no fun.
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre danced on your grave afterwards, everything like that. Do you take anything from last year's Royal Rumble? Do you take anything from this last year's voyage to this moment that can obviously change everything?
Yeah, absolutely. I think sometimes we fly so close to the sun and you fall and you realize that like, oh, me tearing my tricep in the Rumble wound up being like a huge gift because look what we did with it. You know, to me, I've done the best work of my career when everyone else is maybe assuming that I'm like winding down. I feel like it's cliche. I'm just getting started, you know, and I draw inspiration from like a great many different sources. But like I felt like that was a moment where I could be inspiring to myself. You know what I mean? Like I could turn the worst thing that's ever happened to me, you know, like this big return and this we're gonna, you know, rocket ship and. You know, and it all got halted in the blink of an eye. So what I learned from that is, you know, the hell with it. Like, nose to the grindstone, bust your ass, like come back better, stronger. And, you know, I think I did the best stuff of my career in the last year.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch. It's been fun to have a front row seat to watch you work and do your thing. And I'll say, I made this up, #stat that. I think your name chanted the most in the history of any name in arenas. You know, because even for 10 years, whenever you weren't around, your name was getting chanted in every arena, basically every single night.
Yeah.
Now, every arena, every single night, 3 syllables, one name, CM Punk, getting
that's
chanted
you.
everywhere.
You started that.
Is that a lot of pressure? Is that a lot of pressure to live up to the hype, knowing that every city is eagerly awaiting your arrival?
I think it is, but I love it. Like there's still a huge part of me that's just like, oh yeah, they remember me. That's strange. That's weird. I still have that, you know. And when you're gone for 10 years, even though they're still chanting your name, you know, you wonder if like the stuff you did prior to all that, does that matter? Is it relevant? Did I resonate? Did I do, you know, like, and we're in the business of making people feel something. So I made people feel something.
Yeah, you certainly did. And then when other superstars are in the ring and your name's getting chanted, I don't want to say I can see just joy being sucked out of their bodies.
No, say it. Yeah, they hate it. They hate it. And for the longest time, you know, like it's probably honestly why a lot of them don't like me is because they were here holding it down for so long. And they're just like, every time we go out there and we're busting our ass and they're chanting for some guy who's not even here. Like that's That's got to suck, man. That's disheartening.
That's been talked about a lot. You're the guy that left. Every single promo that you get into with somebody.
There's a bunch of sensitive folk around.
Yeah, they always say that. But, I mean, that is the reason why they're saying that is because that is like, there's a lot of context that needs to be added to the entire conversation. But
Sure.
certainly we're not there for a bit. You come back. Feels like you're back at home, though?
Yeah.
I think so, too.
Yeah,
I think the way
100%.
everybody feels is like, I obviously was not here during the time where you decided to leave. I've just always been a fan.
Yeah.
So whenever I see you come back, I get excited. Like, I'm pumped to see you. I think everybody is. Do you get pumped to be back every single time?
Every single time. Like, I hate traveling and I don't like not spending time with my wife and my dog, but it's literally dealing with that, but also being like, man, I get to go to Raw today. I get to go to SmackDown today. I get to stop by NXT and do all these fun things.
Yeah, we'll be back on Monday. Yeah, we missed the heart out.
That was pretty good, though.
Show continues.
Yeah.
You did great there. That's a professional out of you.
Wow.
On a microphone, you crushed it. You didn't even know. You heard the music and you said, we got to
I
probably.
did. I just figured that was your cue. I'm just a guest. You're the professional here.
No, I am not the professional.
So are we not on the air anymore?
Still live.
Oh.
ESPN Plus, Disney Plus, YouTube, TikTok Live.
Okay.
I would say this is more people are watching this. More people have seen TVs that have the ESPN on. It's kind of the interesting thing. Every airport has ESPN on.
Yeah.
Every cafe has ESPN on.
Fascinating.
All the restaurants. But digitally, massive numbers, and these people had to get here. So I think actually listening. So it's it's an interesting dilemma on what matters more. In my eyes, it's the digital team. But we come from the internet. So it's a little different era. Does that make sense?
No.
All right.
I don't understand the internet, really. I don't.
You run the internet.
Yeah,
I don't.
I understand you.
Are you on there? How much are you on there?
I just have Instagram so I can look at dogs.
Do you read comments?
No.
You ever get on X? Never get on X?
No.
Never read mentions on X?
Can't do it. I stopped because of all of that. Like, that's too much.
When did you stop doing that?
2-3 years ago, I think.
Life much better?
Yeah.
Not having to hear it.
No, just drop out. Like, why do I need to hear a bunch of people who don't like me say what they think about me? Why do I care?
Dude, yeah, I read that all the time.
It's a lot.
It'd be so cool.
It's not as fun.
It'd be so cool not to read it. Maybe I'll have enough
You can't make everybody happy. There's always going to be somebody who's like, entire identity is like, ooh, I hate this guy. And it's just so strange to me.
Somebody's.
Yeah.
My case,
I can understand like hating a sports team like the Penguins or something like that, but it's like individual people.
Nobody hates the Penguins.
Except for maybe Ron Francis. I don't
Okay,
know.
don't you even start talking about it. And if you want to get into Yarmer Yager, Ron Francis, Mario Lemieux, Ken Raggett, the entire crew back then, okay? Tommy Barrasso, goal used to stand on his damn head.
Yeah.
Okay, if you want to get into the greats, we can certainly do that. And if you want to get into the next iteration of our team, we were great then as well. Blackhawks, you guys are good.
Oh!
The first monetary bet I made my entire life was, I think it was like in the 5th grade, whenever the Hawks and the Penguins were in the finals. And I bet this kid $5. I was like, the Hawks are going to win. And we got swept.
Yeah, of course.
So I hate Ron Francis to this day for $5.
Ron Francis is a dog.
Nah.
Ron Francis is an absolute dog. All right, let's talk about Chicago sports. Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, you probably didn't see it then, but when you were on Netflix on Christmas and you said that the Bears had to sell the team in order to turn it around, that went huge.
Huge.
Yeah.
People loved it. People were, kind of singing your praises about it. How do you feel now with Ben Johnson kind of at the helm? He turned his back on Detroit and now he's all in on Chicago. Do you feel like the Bears are finally going to make a little run at this thing with Caleb Williams?
No. I feel like I feel like it's Groundhog Day. We've been here before. Lovie Smith. Oh, we're gonna get this great coach. He's gonna right the ship. He's gonna correct everything. No, like the Blackhawks in the 2010s were the model for all these teams that actually want to win. If you want to win, look at what the Hawks did. Unfortunately, Bill Wirtz had to die for things to change, but you got to get rid of the McCaskies. I'll buy the team. I'll offer right now $100.
Okay.
Wow.
There we go.
RG3 was doing something like this when Washington was up for sale.
I will buy the team, and I will be a responsible owner that doesn't care about where they play or what cut of the concessions we get, or who owns the stadium. I just want to win. You know,
That's kind of your thing. That has been your thing.
Yeah.
It's about doing right. You don't care about the bottom line. That's
well,
kind
I'm
of
a sport. Well, I'm a sports fan, and I'm a Chicago sports fan. So it's been a painful life and a painful existence. But it's just like you look at all these other sports franchises, the ones that just want to win, you win. You know, like you do what it takes to win. And I understand there's politics and people's feelings get involved, and there's big money deals and all these things gotta go on. But if you're an owner,
and power.
Yeah, if you're an owner, like,
power.
Come on, the '85 Bears should have been a dynasty, and we weren't because of feelings and politics and all that other BS. And like,
do you think because you're from Chicago, it has helped create you as the guy who is going to be the one that's going to say something when nobody else will say something? Why do you think you're that person?
I mean, I definitely think I'm a product of my environment, so that probably has something to do with it. And it just in my old age, I've just tried to bite my tongue a little bit more.
Why?
Just because I just don't.
You don't need to fight every war.
I don't want to deal with people. I think.
Yeah.
I don't want to engage.
No reason to fight everything.
No, you tell me 4 + 4 equals 5. I'll just go. Yeah, all right. You're right.
Fair.
I mean, I don't know how you got
Just
there.
cross you off the Christmas list. Like, all right.
This guy's a dipshit. Ty has a question for you.
Going back to the Rumble, so you've obviously been to damn near like every arena all over the world, been in front of huge crowds, but they're saying there's potentially going to be 70,000 plus out there, biggest Rumble ever. When you come down that ramp, like how much can you feel that? Is that palpable? Like, will you know right away? Like, holy shit! Like, this is a really hot crowd. Like,
yeah,
I'm not used to this.
Like it's like if you're in a building that has 10,000 people, or you're in a building that has 15,000 people, you might not be able to tell. But like it's so exponentially bigger. 70,000 people. That's a lot of human beings.
Yeah.
That's a lot of hot dogs. That's a lot of spilled beer.
Why?
It's just. It gets pretty crazy, and the first time I ever experienced something like that was at a WrestleMania, and now we're packing 70,000 people in for a Rumble. It's pretty impressive.
Well, that's why you say, "Look in my eyes, what do you see?" I'm a cult of personality.
I feel like I'm blushing.
So when you were riding
so
over here, is that the only song you listen to? Like when did you do Spotify Wrapped? Your number one song, Cult of Personality.
I don't have Spotify, so I can't do a Spotify Wrapped thing.
Apple.
Yeah.
You do Apple Music?
I have Apple Music, but I also still have an iPod.
And it just has one song?
No. It's got a lot of songs. It's got a plethora of stuff. It's an old iPod, and I shattered it. It was destroyed. It looked like it got run over by a car. And I remember I was in Chicago, and I walked down the street, and there was a place that said like, we repair whatever.
Oh yeah,
iPhones,
cracked screens.
Yeah, and I walked in there and I threw it on the counter. He goes, "Is there anything you can do?" And the guy looks at me and he goes, "I can't fix that." And then he looks up at me and he goes, "Are you CM Punk?" I was like, "Yeah." And then he just picks it up and he goes, "Give me 2 weeks." And I said, "All right." And he fixed it.
Hey, I said anything for CM Punk.
It's the only time me getting recognized actually led to something like positive.
When you were away from the business,
Yeah.
okay, were you still getting recognized everywhere?
Yeah.
You were still every moment of your life?
Yeah.
And how long has it been that everywhere you go, at least one or multiple people know you? And how do you deal with it?
Like how often do I get spotted?
No, everybody knows you. How long has it been that everywhere you go, people know you? And how do you deal with it? Do you talk to people? What is your kind of MO?
Every single interaction is its own little special universe. It all depends. Like if I'm at an airport, chances are, unless you're super polite, like you're not gonna be able to get my attention because my job is I'm trying to get somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
glasses, headphones.
No, I just the earbuds. Hat, whatever.
Hair looks very good.
Yeah, clean.
Thank you.
Yeah,
My hair plugs are holding up. Yeah.
That's what they're saying on the internet?
I think so. Yeah.
I think it looks good.
Yeah.
Great.
I think it looks very good.
I'm the greatest professional wrestler of all time. I've made people so angry that I've tricked them into thinking I got fake hair or something like that.
You are the best in the world. The best in the world. Maybe that is a part of the gimmick.
I love seeing people. I love great fan interactions. And a lot of the times, the best ones are just like walking down the street and somebody's like, "Yo, Punk, big fan," fist bump. Like that's amazing to me. Like, but if I'm walking my dog, I have learned I have to set boundaries. Like, you know, because my dog's going to try to bite you if you get close to me.
Yeah, protect.
And people, you know, people get wild in the streets. But I get it too. Like, I just met Tina Fey for the first time the other day. And,
How was that?
you know what I mean? Like, I was just like so thrilled, and I was just thinking, I'm gonna be murdered by my wife if I go home and I tell her, like, yeah, I was in a room with Tina Fey and I didn't say anything, you know? So I like, you know, hunch my shoulders and I try to look smaller than I am, and I walk over and I was like, excuse me, it's Tina Fey. Like, I'm a really big fan, and, you know, and she was nice as pie. It was great.
So you marked out a little bit for Tina.
Oh, 100%.
Hell yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Love
Yeah,
Tina.
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't have too much ego to mark out for Tina Fey.
And I will be very contrarian now, and I will say, like, fans, if you see people, like, yeah, you have to, I understand, like, you have to take your shot, but, like, also, like, if you recognize the situation we're in, like, oh, he's over there eating, like, maybe we shouldn't.
Read the room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So when you look back on your career, obviously everybody thinks about the pipe bomb being the big moment. Do you have a favorite Mount Rushmore moments of CM Punk's career? Do you think about that ever? Do you do a lot of reminiscing on everything you've accomplished? Because you said greatest professional wrestler of all time, best in the world. They changed your name for 10 years whenever you weren't around for good reason. You've been there, done that with a lot of things. Do you have like many moments you look back on, or are you like in the moment move forward?
No, I've been super fortunate to like have this long career. You know, like I think there's a lot of, even some of my devout fans don't realize like how long I've been around, how long I've been doing this. So it's always cool to see, you know, you've made a new fan by coming back, but then there's people who, you know, talk about this. And like, to me, my favorite moments are the ones that most people have probably never seen. They probably never will see. As far as stuff that's been like on TV and with WWE.
What, you're talking house shows and behind the scenes?
Just house show stuff when I was on the indies, like getting to work with like legends like Terry Funk, Eddie Guerrero, Tracy Smothers, like all the people that wound up being so nice to me when I thought that they were just, you know, like not necessarily they were going to be dicks to me or anything like that, but just like they didn't have to be as gracious to me as they were, you know, like, so like that, I guess, kind of being accepted by like this group of old school guys. Like Dusty always loved me. Harley Race loved me. I can tell stories about being on Harley's boat. Like, might actually get us kicked off ESPN.
No, we're on the internet.
Yeah, we've pushed it already.
Yeah, we've attempted to do it all. So you think as you were breaking in, as you were coming up, all the OGs welcoming you into their world and their fraternity was a massive piece for you?
Oh, that's the coolest thing I've ever done, you know, because when I was a kid, like, you know, 1993, my first year of high school, like I tried out for the football team. I tried out for the wrestling team because I knew I wanted to do something. I just didn't know what it was. And both times, like I made the teams, but it was still very much like a jocks versus punk rockers kind of situation where I was from. And I had like a purple Liberty Spike mohawk, and the coach was like, "You got to cut your hair." And I was like, "Oh, well, fuck you."
Yeah, punk rock.
Yeah, I was much more interested in being the opinionated punk rock kid. I was like, I can't cut my hair, you know, like, you know, and all the jocks would, you know, call me names and slurs and all kinds of
1993.
Different time.
Yeah.
Some hard F's, you know.
Yeah. We've been around jocks.
Yeah. So it was always, I just kind of always like assumed that like that's the way everything was gonna go. Like this weird, odd punk rock kid with a big mouth wasn't gonna get accepted into this, you know, this man's world.
Yeah. Well, they love you.
I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, it's because you had talent, kid.
I had to fight a little bit, you know, but it all worked out.
You had talent, kid, I assume is what the message was through it, and you still do at this age. How many years are we into the business now?
I don't know. Do you count when I left? I don't know.
Sure. Let's just say from when it started.
God, I mean, I don't know. I'm going to write a book someday, you know, and I don't know when. I'm just going to tell the story. So like in 93, I started rolling around in backyards with my friends. You know?
Trampolines?
No.
No trampoline.
No, we weren't that smart. We also weren't that rich. We had no trampoline. We just used the ground, and then we would maybe one year we borrowed some materials from various construction sites in and around Chicagoland area and built a ring, you know. And at about 90, like 96, 97, I went and I think we bought a wrestling ring. Bought like an old wrestling ring from some guy in Texas. you know, it's just, and started running shows, and we were very outlaw, as our friend Jim Cornette would say. And I think around like 90, 98, 99, I went and I was introduced that there was a wrestling school, and I was like, "Oh, you actually have to learn how to do this?"
Yeah, I thought you
interesting.
They're out of the ring together.
Yeah, it was shocking to me because it's not like there's a pro wrestling program in school. You know, there's football, there's wrestling, there's all kinds of sports, but. Yeah, and then the rest is history. They beat the crap out of me for being a backyard kid, and I earned my stripes.
So it was like your whole life, pretty much, that you've been doing this, at least since you have.
Make me feel old, man.
Adult memories, but then you disappear. How many times did you just want to get back in the ring? I assume that's a real thing that happened whenever you weren't around.
When I was out, no, I was out and I was out, man.
Oh, there was no like yearning or missing?
No, like
because of how it ended?
I think definitely because of how it ended, it just really didn't seem like there was even an avenue. And I'm a guy that's not going to dwell on, anything from the past. I'm just going to keep moving forward, and that's what I did.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't know if there was a CM Punk chant that happened, and you're like, man, it would be nice to maybe get back in there.
Dude, my wife would wrestle on TV. She was at the company for like a year after I left, and like I think sometimes me and her probably got into arguments because she was maybe a little bit mad that was going on, and yeah. But I get it.
Speaking of your wife, hot topic for Royal Rumble weekend.
Whoa!
You've been dropping clues.
No, there's no clues.
No, I've heard them. I've heard them all.
All right.
You said big surprise. That's what you said.
That's not what I said.
Yeah, I heard words.
That is not what I said.
Oh, huge surprise. Only me and a couple people know.
Wink. You're a liar.
Isn't that what you did?
You're all liars.
No, that's what I heard. That's what you say. You never know who's going to show up.
Huh?
No.
The Royal Rumble.
Look out, Lucas Oil.
Huh? Could be significant others of people.
On a Saturday, maybe?
Huh?
She's at home watching Larry.
Chicago's very close.
No.
Today's Friday, though.
Yeah. Rumble's on what day?
Saturday.
3-hour drive.
52-minute flight.
70,000 people?
Hey, how are you getting to Cleveland on Monday?
Flying.
Okay.
You want to come with?
Yeah.
All right.
I do.
It'll be after the program, so it'll be a little later in the afternoon.
Oh, I might have an earlier call time than you. I'm not fancy. I don't get to walk in late.
I don't walk in. I walk in right on time. Right on time.
Perfect time.
Every time.
Every time.
Yeah, Michael Cole's going to be traveling with me on Monday. So.
Oh, man. We can't have a show without you two. You guys better get there.
Thank you. I agree. We will. We're going to try. We're going to try to get up.
Who are we going to put on
you. You'd be a
again.
great commentator.
Not again.
I'd
be fired within the first 90 minutes.
No.
Yeah.
You get promoted.
Yeah. Oh, well, maybe.
Michael Cole might get fired.
It's like one of those promotions, like, we're going to send you over to the New York firm because you've caused too much heat here in L.A., and we're going to give you a raise, and we're going to shuffle you over here.
AJ has a question from Ohio. He's been eagerly wanting to ask. Yes?
Yeah, I got a question about the Rumble. So yesterday, Sheamus was actually sitting in your seat, and Pat tried to give him some advice. Said, what if you laid face first and just kind of held onto the turnbuckle? Do you think they may not even see you, and possibly all of a sudden you stand up and it's you and one other person, you get to battle?
I didn't think you would be disguising yourself. I just said if you're laying down and then holding on to the bottom rope, that feels like a good idea.
I think it might be a good idea for anybody but Sheamus because he's so white. Like, do you think you're just going to be invisible?
No, I didn't. He added the camouflage.
Yeah.
I said you're going to be seen, no problem at all. But you're willing to take it, and you're just laying on the ground, and you're around that bottom rope, just like this.
Well, when you get in, why don't you try that, and then we'll see how it goes.
Whoa, you're
I'm
getting
in a Royal Rumble.
You're getting in?
I don't know about that, Mr. Punk.
Or I feel like maybe don't give this advice to I don't know. I don't know who's in the Rumble, but say Tyrese Halliburton isn't, because that'd be something, right?
Yeah, what if he did go in there? And
That'd be sick.
Hold on for dear
He'd
life.
be getting a phone call from Adam Silver, wouldn't he?
middle of the season. They got a game at 5 o'clock tomorrow.
Do they really?
Yeah, 5 o'clock.
Oh, so he can make it.
He can't. Yeah, well, that's the.
Ooh, buddy.
Depending upon how the show is set up, none of us know. Obviously, nobody knows what matches or when. But yeah, there's a lot going on in that, moving pieces.
Fade the Pacers tomorrow.
What?
Yeah, without a doubt. Hawks are going to win by 20 because all Halliburton's going to be thinking of is Cena.
He's going to be Royal Rumbling in his head.
Yeah.
Yeah, bingo.
No, he's going to be trying to get that game over with quicker. So he's going to hang maybe 50 in the first half, so we got a running clock in the second half.
Too many timeouts. See, that's a good point. I'll take his under instead of the Hawks.
No, he's going over.
Because if he keeps missing, that clock keeps rolling.
No, he's going to make every shot.
Oh, I don't know.
And then he's going to go in there and he's going to hang on to the bottom rope. And when somebody does it, I want to let you know, we told you. We told you about the idea. You want to go main event WrestleMania or not? Hang on to that bottom rope.
I mean, it'll probably work for a little bit, and then you're just going to get stomped in the face.
So what? You go unconscious. Are they going to lift your carcass up?
Yeah.
Yeah, they will, actually.
Yeah, they will.
It could happen.
All right. Final, like tonight.
Yep.
What will be?
What is tonight? Today is SmackDown,
Friday.
right?
Yeah, Friday night SmackDown. Going to be great.
So I'm shot. I flew in on a red eye, and I'm just,
Brother, me too.
haven't had my coffee yet today.
You want this one?
You want a Mountain Dew?
We got some Mountain Dews.
No, thank you.
Sure. All right.
I'm good.
All right.
We got Diet Dew, too.
It's a Dew Zero.
And did you see we got 4 pallets of Gatorade Glacier Free Zero if
Nice.
you want it on the way out.
That stuff's delicious.
That is the best. Yeah, showed up on an 18-wheeler this
You want an
morning.
ice cold real American beer?
That's right.
I certainly do not.
Wow. That's certainly a bad call.
Who asked me?
What?
That's in the back.
was that-
That's in the back row back there. Yeah.
I was like, who's the voice of God?
Yeah.
Why would you ask me that?
Well, because we heard what you said.
That'll wake you up quick.
We
So
heard
it's not the he's straight edge thing that we're gonna offer him a beer. It's just because
we got some weed too, don't we? I mean,
Yeah.
Big note of that too.
we don't have it, by the way. It's Indiana. We would never.
Yeah.
We would never have that.
Just joking.
That would never be.
That was just a skunk outside that I smelled.
Yeah. A lot of skunks here in Indiana.
Skunks
Big
back
problem.
again.
Yeah.
You said if Hulk Hogan got his old ass in the Rumble, you throw his dusty ass over the top rope tonight when you go to bed. Night before the Royal Rumble. You win the Royal Rumble, main event of WrestleMania. I know that is something that everybody holds over CM Punk's.
Yeah.
They really do. Tonight, what is the last thoughts? And then whenever you're heading in, walking down the ramp to join the Royal Rumble, what will you be thinking? What will you be saying?
So Rumble is the 1st of February. That is going to be exactly 365 days from my surgery on my elbow. So I'm going to be thinking a lot about that. Try not to dwell on it because, I don't want to live in that negative headspace. Because anything can go wrong at any time, like a skylight could fall on me right now. And, it could be all over with. But
Good.
yeah,
Why'd you
I
add
look.
that to my list of fears?
See, now you're paranoid because of all the skunks now. It's okay.
No, it calms me down, actually, the skunks.
Every time I lace up my boots and I'm in front of a crowd, even if it's just like, microphone, I got my Hokas on or some Jordans or whatever, like I am so beyond, like I'm overly to like a cheesy point, like so grateful for every single experience, getting to come back and kind of proving myself right this last year and just doing box office stuff and having fun while doing it. I'm on top of the world. So like, when I'm walking into the Rumble, like I feel like I'm the luckiest kid in the world. That's what's going to be going through my head in there. And then when I get in there, I'm just going to start punching people in the face and throw them all over the top rope. And
Oh, yeah.
Hell
it's
yeah.
going to be fun.
Yeah, and attitude of gratitude is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And then whenever you get in that ring, maybe you say, "Look in my eyes, what do you see?"
AJ's the only one not singing.
Well, that's the problem.
He doesn't participate.
No,
Never.
Yeah.
doesn't, Mr.
He'll,
Punk.
he'll be like, "Oh, well, there's a lag in between."
Bingo. That is what he said.
Yeah.
We knew you were smart. We knew you were smart, Punk. There is a little bit of a delay. I would ruin the whole thing.
No, that is
It would.
that's his excuse every time.
Yeah, I think when it comes to singing, it might be right.
No, he's not. He just doesn't want to participate. Wiz Khalifa told him, "Put his hands up. Put your hands
did.
up." He was 2 feet away from him, and he looked at Wiz Khalifa and he said, "How about this? Hands in his pocket." Everybody else in there is
Spit
doing
on the
one of
ground.
these. He says, "I'm not your puppet." That's what he says.
All right, well,
That's why he's a big CM Punk fan.
you got to respect that. Yeah.
We have one of your biggest fans here, actually. He's a 355-pound
Yes, D-Bone.
D3 national champion.
Oh, no.
D-Bone.
He looks good. He's been doing the Celtic workouts.
Like 355?
Yeah, he's been. He's here.
Hurry up.
Did you get a
It's
chance to
not
say hello to
350,
Mr.
by the
Punk?
way.
I met him when I walked in.
4.
Did he mark out?
I don't think so.
When he found out you were going to be on the show,
Playing it cool right now.
It was he got a little bit of a zipper burn.
Yeah,
Oh.
he's tucking it right now.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Do you have any words of advice for CM Punk, the man that you would like to see win the Royal Rumble tomorrow?
No, man, just go kick some ass. Do what you do.
That's right.
I'll do the best I can. That's all I can.
Well,
As a D3
Said
national
Punk.
champion football player.
For where?
North Central College in Naperville.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Biggest
yeah.
Cena
You
mark
did
in the
you
world.
did say, really? Okay.
No, well, so there's a little bit of a conflicting thing here. CM Punk, look in my eyes, what do you see? But he will every once in a while. You can't see me. So, like, that's the thing. So,
Do. Thank you.
yeah. How do you feel about Mr. Cena?
I love him to death. I feel spoiled that I get to witness whatever journey he's about to embark on. I think it's exciting. I selfishly am looking forward to Saturday, and hopefully there's a moment where me and him
I think everybody's
can have a moment, you know. But it's just there's so many guys, so many bodies. I don't know if it's in the cards, but we'll see.
You did a wink, wink, nod, nod to him 2 weeks ago, maybe during a promo, or 3 weeks ago during a promo, about him having his last time is now and his run and who he's going to go with and yada, 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 everything like that. The world obviously exploded just at the thought of it. He certainly
Oh, yeah.
He
exploded just even thinking about it.
All over.
He's special, though, man. There's a lot of those guys. You're obviously talked about in that same era as those legends, and I assume you don't view yourself as that. But there's a lot of legends in the WWE right now, and obviously it's at an all-time high. Cena coming back, Rock coming back. Obviously, you guys had a moment at the Vegas press conference last year, which I enjoyed.
I mean, you talk about legends. You talk about me being just stoked at where I'm at and like just grateful and enjoying myself. What was it? It was Raw. Was it Raw? I think it was Raw. Where were we at Monday?
We were in Atlanta.
Yes, we were in Atlanta, and I remember I like walked into one of the locker rooms or something like that, and there's Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just like every time I see Rey, it could be like an old guy thing because every time I see Rey or every time I see Truth, like in the hallway, we all just look at each other and we just like grab each other and just give each other a big hug, like, hey man, like look at us, this is crazy. Can you believe this? Because I've known those guys.
Not just doing it, killing it.
I think I wrestled Ray 2001. Maybe I've known him a quarter of a century. You know, Truth, same thing. Like, you know, I knew him when I was doing Wednesday night TNA pay-per-views at Nashville Fairgrounds. Like, so there's a bunch of us that it's cool to look around and kind of go, hey man, look at us. Yeah, we're still here. We're still doing it too.
Yeah, absolutely. And you talked about, you created your own promotion there in Chicago in high school as a punk rock kid. You had some Ring of Honor times.
Yep.
Obviously, you just mentioned TNA there. We don't have to get into the drama at the Elite place.
Yeah.
But how do you feel about TNA, WWE working together? It feels like the forbidden door that there had been for a long time is much more open now with Mr. H in charge, I think. Is it for the good of wrestling?
I think he's receptive to other people's ideas, whereas maybe, Vince wasn't. Like he was like, I'm the boss, we're doing this, and this is how we're doing it. And that's great. Like, yeah, if you run a company, you need somebody who is the yes and no man and the final say. But I think Triple H thinks he's surrounded, and oftentimes is, by a lot of really, really genius wrestling minds. And if he has an idea or sees something one way, like he'll look at Michael Hayes and be like, what do you think?
Legend.
He'll turn and
The boys are
look
back
at
in
Paul
town.
Heyman, and these are people who have bona fide resumes. They have literally done everything you possibly could do in the sport, and I think their voices should be heard. Now, not a lot of time, everybody's going to have this dynamite idea, but I think the best idea always wins in today's WWE.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. Everybody's happy too.
Yeah.
Feels like the vibes are immaculate.
Yeah,
every time.
I actually don't like talking about that, and because it sounds
Stupid to say?
well, it just sounds like bullshit. It sounds like because it's the same. Because I've been in situations where everyone's like, "Oh, everybody's happy here. This is great," and I'm like,
And then
you
you're
guys-
choking people out.
You guys are in a cult. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
yeah.
everybody hates everybody. Like, it's just super clicky. Like, so, and also like I try to set the boundaries of like, this is work, it is a job, it is a corporation, so but I can't lie. I come to work and I'm stoked every day to see everybody.
You're not the only one.
Stoked to see you on every Monday, like it's great.
I
Like,
show up on time. I'm there early.
sure you do.
Yeah, I'm always there early. It is great to see you every time because I'm amongst, legends. You talk about Rey Mysterio. The first time I went into TVL and Rey Mysterio was getting changed in there, I was like, oh, I should get out of here. And he's like, no, all good. And I'm like sitting 2 lockers down from Rey Mysterio. And it's like, man, I got 1,000 questions right now.
You should ask him.
I do, well, yeah. It always starts with like one, like, hey, you remember when Brock like just did and he goes, yeah, the funny thing about that, and he'll get into like a full on, and it's like, oh, he doesn't mind at all. Like the OGs don't mind sharing the game at all. And you talk about those genius minds. You mentioned Paul Heyman. Yeah. You're one of the first Paul Heyman guys. I believe the first Paul Heyman guy. Maybe.
I mean, I'm the one who labeled it. Yeah. I mean, there was amazing Paul Heyman guys before,
ECW obviously
before my mouth, labeled it and gave him a bunch of merchandise money, but
sounds like you're pumped about it. It sounds like you're pumped about it.
I never got my cut.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Well, we'll figure that out. The wise man will figure.
I am a giving.
He owes you?
No.
No, he does, doesn't he?
No.
Oh, he doesn't?
No, Paul doesn't owe me anything.
Well, aside from the shirts, but he definitely owes you.
Oh, the favor?
Yeah.
I suppose.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. We don't got to get into it, though,
Unless you want to.
mas.
I'm all about good public pressure if you need. Mm-hmm. I'm a mouthpiece if you want me to go ahead and apply a little pressure.
I won't fold. No.
Well, let's go all in then. Don't fold.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't get bluffed either.
Cards on the table.
He owes you. Don't ever forget it. I won't let you forget it.
Oh, thank you.
Paul Heyman owes you. Now, I do acknowledge my tribal chief.
Mm-hmm. Good for you.
As we all should.
Do you? Yeah. Do you?
Do I?
Do you?
No.
You?
Oh, shit.
What are you talking about? We acknowledge our tribal chief.
I'll just do one of these.
Oh, jeez, go to sleep.
Okay.
He didn't acknowledge.
That's
Let the record state he did not acknowledge our tribal chief, which was expected, but would have been a nice little pleasant surprise here on Royal Rumble Eve.
Dangerous.
If you would have maybe put that one to the sky. Paul Heyman owes you. Don't ever forget it. And speaking of Owen, we owe you for making a stop all the way out here, especially on such a busy weekend after a red eye before the biggest day of your life tomorrow.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Biggest day of my life.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, second to marrying my wife. I don't think anything else really compares to that, but,
That's greatest
biggest
day.
match of my life.
Greatest day of your life.
It's the biggest match of my life.
Biggest match of your life.
Yeah.
Biggest Royal Rumble.
That's the cool thing about where I'm at right now is like every match is the biggest match of my life.
Yeah.
It's super neat.
But definitely tomorrow.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. All right, we'll talk about it. Thank you so much for joining. Good luck tomorrow, ladies.
Oh, yeah.
Go
Luck
get
is
'em.
for losers, boys.
What's that?
Luck is for losers.
Love that.
Hell yeah, Punk.
You're so punk rock, dude.
Oh, come on now.
Hey, just real quick. Look in my eyes. What do you see?
Delay kills it. Delay
AJ?
kills the funk. You know that.
AJ?
No, I can't with the delay. You know that.
Yeah, that's what he's waiting for.
Yeah. AJ wished Cena was on the show instead of me.
No.
Bob Backlund actually is.
Yeah.
Bob Backlund's my guy. See,
Wow.
Punk,
Eugene, maybe.
Nice.
Yeah, he loves it.
Either one. Yeah.
Well, he's just a hop, skip, and a jump from here, isn't he?
Bob Backlund?
Eugene.
I think so.
He's everywhere.
Yeah, I think he's everywhere.
He's around here somewhere.
Yeah, he always will be.
He's over
Don't
at
even get him
Red
going on
Salier, maybe?
Gilbert.
I don't know.
All right, we're going to get the hell out of here as well as we let CM Punk continue to prepare for the biggest match of his life at the biggest Royal Rumble of all time, which kicks off tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern live from the beautiful city of Indianapolis, Indiana at the Loud House, Lucas Oil Stadium. For myself, AJ, all the boys in the back, and to, hey, Nick, happy birthday, buddy.
All right, birthday.
hey,
Nick.
thank you.
All right,
Happy
Nick.
birthday, Nick.
Is that today?
How old are we, Nick?
Tomorrow, 39.
39. Wow. You
Good old
remember?
days.
You remember 39?
Yeah, I haven't been there yet, but I know it looks like I have been. Thanks, CM Punk. Maybe I should live a little more straight edge, so I don't age like milk. But happy birthday, Nick. It's an honor to, experience life alongside you. And you become a phenomenal dad, a great husband, and on the ones and twos back there, so damn good. We appreciate you. Happy birthday, buddy.
Thank you. Appreciate that greatly, Phil.
How about CM Punk just happy birthday to you?
That was pretty sweet.
That was sick.
Thank you, Mr. Punk.
You missed 38 of his birthdays if you'd like to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what do you want? 39 chops? What do we do?
Okay. Man, get your ass out of here, dude.
Maybe. Haven't even thought of that. Get your ass beat for your 39th birthday.
Get Sheamus back here, and we'll have Sheamus.
Sheamus comes in and does the whole headlock thing.
Number.
Yep.
He's
a stiff prick, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's guys going in like, hey, this one's going to be
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The banger.
Is he at the top of one of those?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
You got JBL'd? Close
Oh,
line?
yeah. Yeah, nightly for, I don't know, like 6 months straight, yeah.
Yeah, there's people like as a fan that I've watched that I'd be like, if I'm ever lucky enough to become a professional wrestler and I get into the WWE, I'm going to try to steer clear of that particular human
Nah,
being.
you can't avoid it. Yeah,
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's why I don't get in there. Yeah, every once in a while I'll get in there and I realize, wow, this really hurts, all of it. And
That's the secret. That was the secret of Terry Funk's punches. I found out the first time I ever wrestled him. You watch Terry Funk, you're like, man, these guys punches. It's a work of art. And then he punches you in the face, and you're like, oh.
Oh, it's a real punch.
That's why they look so good.
Oh, got it. All right, well, we're going to get out of here.
Again, we're leaving. Again.
We are. You got anything to say?
Nah, I got nothing to say. I got to head over to, I don't know, Fanatics Fest or something. I'm shaking babies and taking pictures and smiling and
Shaking babies.
I don't think you should shake.
Oh, sorry. Kissing babies.
Yeah.
And you know what? I would rather. I don't want to do that either.
Yeah.
A lot of sickness is going
Be
around.
careful. Yeah. It's that time.
Norovirus.
Yeah. Maybe you should just, whenever they show up, you should just say,
Look in my eyes. What do you see?
I'll see you in the Royal Rumble.
I'm not in it, brother.
Yeah, you are.
Well, is your wife?
My wife?
Is your wife in the Royal Rumble?
Why would my wife be in the men's Royal Rumble?
Whoa.
Wow.
That's ridiculous.
Maybe not the man.
Absolutely ridiculous. You
Don't be
guys are
giving anything away,
ridiculous.
please.
It's ridiculous.
Not
Grow
on
up.
this show. We don't like
Grow up, guys. All of you.
All right. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Have an incredible weekend. Royal Rumble tomorrow. Kickoff show for the entire weekend starts at 5 o'clock. Then SmackDown. Then we got the Pro Bowl games on Sunday.
Yes.
It's a massive weekend of sport, and this is going to be awesome. We can't thank you enough for allowing us to do this for a living. We're going to try to enjoy it all. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change your life. We're in this thing together. Team on me. I like that.
Hell yeah.
Any final thoughts? It's kind of jockey if you want to speak to the group here.
Every day above ground is a good day.
Boom.
Team on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Team.